So my name is Arjan, I'm the founder of the Greenhouse Seed Company, and now I'm going to introduce you to one of the most famous plants in the world. It's called the white widow. An invention of us long time ago. It won the High Times Cannabis Cup in '95. It's in its second week now. It grew from 10 centimeters to 26 centimeters, really fast grower, and with one of the most beautiful crystal productions that are existing. If you look up many High Times, you'll see many pictures of this famous plant. We created it like 10 years ago, highly recommended by many growers in the world, and we're going to follow this plant for the next 10 weeks also. We got it in a container of 85 liters, pH is 5.5, the EC is 1.4. The temperature in this area is 25 degrees in the day and 19 degrees in the night. Here you see white widow, maybe besides the super silver haze the most famous plant in the world. Another invention of the Greenhouse Seed Company. Cannabis Cup winner with High Times and with a lot of other magazines in the past. Beautiful crystal production, went from 26 to 39 centimeters. So it grew 13 centimeters this week. And also this plant we're going to put on 12 hours. We're going to start inducing the crystal production and the flowering. The environment will stay the same for a while. It will grow together with the other indicas like the white shark, the white rhino and the white widow. Those three are related to each other, and we're going to follow it for the next 12 weeks. This plant, the white widow, my invention 94-95, a plant that has been stolen by many other seed companies, but we are the original owners and creators of the original white widow.
The one and only?
The one and only. It's also day 29 of this plant. The last 5 days it was flowering, so we changed the nutrients. We stopped giving enzymes, we go into the flowering nutrients now. The leaves are 18 centimeters long, not too long. And there are 4 centimeters wide. We've got 7 fingers in the top right now, and basically it's the second shortest indica we have. You can see the first white hairs popping up.
It's shooting, it's already shooting.
It's shooting. It's very difficult to see this on the camera yet, but in the tops of the plant you can see already a few white hairs coming up.
This is a magic plant, a true white producing mama. So many flowers all over. Each branch is literally shooting. Flowers everywhere. Very compact size, very bushy plant. Also for this mostly indica variety, we keep a pH at the moment of 5.7 and an EC of 1.9. So a good feeding intake for the plant. She's gonna put all the energy into the production of the flowers now. You can see the internodes are very stable, very uniform. I leave now the word to Arjan from the Greenhouse and to Steve Hager from High Times and the Cannabis Cup.
This is the white widow. Cannabis Cup winner 1995 with the old greenhouse coffee shop Namast on the Waterplan where we were hanging out last night. Yeah, famous after the skunk because of his crystal production. Very high crystal production. Many famous pictures are printed all over the world. Or this one or the white shark, that's even more, even bigger. We do some pruning, but basically what we do, if you look under here, you can see that we did pruning here. So the first 15 centimeters we always take away the leaves, and the reason we do that is that we want to have the air go under, and we don't want any animals to crawl up to the plant. And also we do that in the beginning after 2 weeks. We want the plant to have the energy in growing the plant. We don't do it too early, because then if the plant is really white it also goes up really fast. So we wait 2-3 weeks just before flowering, we do it, and then we kick out the growth in the top also, and the air goes nice under. So that's what we do. Depends how the shape of the plant is. If it's really getting dense, you know, like really bushy, then we would think about getting a few branches out to give some air in the top. But it depends, we wait how it goes.
This is one of the plants in our collection that forms THC the fastest. The pH is kept at 5.8, 5.9. The EC is kept at 1.7. We can shoot it up to 1.8, 1.9. We keep flushing regularly at this point. It's really important to get rid of the salts that build up in your medium. To do that, we use a 5.5 pH solution and a very low EC of 1.3. What we like to do is to collect samples from the outcome of this flushing so that we can compare the values of the outcome with the values of the solution we are flushing with.
Now you can see how many ridiculous crystals. What's going to happen more in the next 4 to 6 weeks with this plant?
We keep the pH at 5.7, the AC at 1.7, 1.8. This plant can take a lot of feeding.
The name says it all. White with crystals. Nice build up. Look at the sheet of colas inside. Everywhere colas. Everywhere where you look. Very good production plant. Very stoned. Very stoned, I have to say. So if you don't want to get too stoned, don't buy those seeds. Don't smoke this plant.
It's definitely one of the trippiest and heaviest in the collection. The development just talks for itself. I don't have to say nothing. Look at it.
Yeah, basically, we could harvest this plant already. We're not going to do it, but we could. We're going to leave it a little bit longer, so we're going to have a little bit more crystal production and see how many colors are in and how white it is. Very, very resinous plant, and it's going to get more and more resinous. This is the original White Widow.
The one and only. And for the one and only, we keep at this point in week 9 of flowering a pH of 5.8. You see at 1.8, and we still flush once a week regularly.
We are in week 9.5, day 65 with the famous White Widow. All-time Cannabis Cup winner with many, many magazines, won many, many prizes, but we are the only ones who's got the original White Widow. So, and here is the proof. Look how white this plant is. This is white. This is probably the whitest plant in the world. That's why I've called it in the past the White Widow. You can finish this plant in 8 weeks, but you see we left it a little bit longer to get this nice white crystal production and great indoor and outdoor plant. We're going to manicure it now. We're going to show you how to do it and how much yield you get off it and how it looks manicured, because now it's like a little bit bushy. And also one thing you could see that in the White Widow, there's some Brazilian sativas in here. You see this pretty slim leaves actually for an indica, but this is a really indica plant. Smells
so
indica
nice.
and strong.
Strong, intense, very intense.
Okay,
Let's feel it.
let's leave it like this. The top we're not going to touch because we're going to take one little nice picture, and then after we're going to show you how it looks.
When you snap the leaves, you always should snap the big ones first. Make yourself some room, and then you can easily find smaller ones and snap them too.
You see what we're doing now, as Frank said, we're taking away the big leaves. So get some space in this plant, you see what you're doing, and then you can go branch by branch. You can start working on the stuff.
Very interesting to note also that plants differ in the way their fiber holds on. Some plants are for some reason more fibery than others. Their fiber is more thick and more resistant. So when you try to snap the leaves off, they tend to resist more and to leave behind some little snapped piece of fiber like this one. So you have to be really quick with the movement and try to avoid breaking off the tops.
So here, after 10 minutes, we've manicured the great White Widow. And we have the top in the top here because we're going to take a nice picture. But you can see the beautiful top here. And look how many nuggets now are in this plant. And it's such a small plant. It's only 2 feet. And yeah, many people always talk about how much yield they have. And you never can see basically what people are selling you. You never know if you buy seeds what you get, and it's a very nice. It's the first time actually that we, as the Greenhouse Seed Company, created a video from the beginning to the end, and you see here the whole result. It's only 2 feet, so you can imagine if you grow this plant a little bit higher, how big it will do. But we kept it short for the Sea of Green method to show you how much you have, and this is the result.